This is what steers the vehicle. Inside, we also have a steering column. Then we got two universal joints and a rubber boot, which is like right here. This is the rubber boot. This keeps the fumes from leaking inside the cab when you're driving. Then we have a steering shaft. This is the steering shaft. Connected to the steering shaft is the power steering gearbox. This power steering gearbox has to be properly mounted to the frame of the tractor. No missing bolts, not leaking. This steering shaft can't be bent at all. It has to be straight. It has to have just a little bit of play because of this area where it has to move around. Bolts. This can't be leaking at all because it's liquid in here. There's fluid in here. Then you have the pitman arm, which is right here. This has to be properly bolted tight around the gearbox. You have 4 castle nuts and 4 cotter pins. So we have one right here. I think we have 2 right here, and the tie rods in. So that's 3/4. So we have a total of 4. We have this right here. It's called the drag link. Right here. Then we have the steering arm. The steering arm right here. Then the steering knuckle and the spindle. You can't see the spindle. And then you have tie rods right here. All without these parts, you won't be able to have a functioning steering system. If one part goes bad, then the other parts are not going to be working properly. So before you do your pre-trip, before you take your load out or drive your vehicle or drive the tractor, you have to check your steering system to make sure that it's properly secured. They're not missing. There's no missing bolts. There's not bent. There's nothing leaking. So look around for any type of puddles of liquids around the steering system area.
Okay, talk about the power steering reservoir.
On this particular, I don't see. Okay, this is on this vehicle. This is the power steering reservoir. This shouldn't be leaking. And when I say leaking, there's 2 holes going from there to here. So we can see there's moisture, so there's some type of leaking. These clamps, you got to check it. You have to open this up, and it has to be proper level. If it's not a proper level, you have a leak. You want to make sure that the reservoir has, like I said, has the proper liquids in it. If it doesn't have a proper liquid level, then you're not going to have a functioning steering system.
On a video for myself, I got a test day coming up. I'm trying to make sure I got all this. This is just a video for anybody that's out here that's trying to study for a test, and this is notes for me. Okay. Now the oil level.
Now you pull the dipstick out. The dipstick should tell you what oil level, what the oil level is at. If that's not at a proper oil level, again, check to see if there's a leak and make sure you have some oil to put in here. Don't take this tractor out because it's going to be a safety hazard on the road.
Okay, where the water pump located at again?
The water pump is located right here.
Okay.
It's belt driven because it's in front of the motor. If the water pump was at the rear, it would be gear driven. You want to make sure that there's no more than a quarter inch, which is about 25% of free play on this belt. If there's more, then that belt is worn, or there's some type of loose pump in that belt loose. So make sure that water pump is not leaking. You want to make sure it's properly mounted. You want to make sure the bolts present and tightened. Again, check for leakage.
All right, we can do Form B. Like I said, this is an informative video for myself and whoever can take heed from it. I have a test coming up. I'm definitely working on my purpose is trying to have more than one credential under my belt. We can never have too many credentials. So what form we on that here?
Say you want to do Form B. Form B is is
Wise man told me I'm only worth my credentials.
Form B is starting right here and working our way to the rear of the tractor. So we're going to talk about the door and the window first. This door must be properly mounted and properly hinged on the area where the door is supposed to open and close at. It's supposed to open properly. It's closed. The rubber seal around it should be not missing, not cracked, not damaged. The window must be clean, not cracked, damaged, or leaking. Must be able to operate, move up, or roll down. The bracket must be properly mounted to the door. No missing bolts. It shouldn't be cracked. However, this one is cracked. It should be able to adjust to the driver once the driver is in there and it's properly straight with the trailer.
So, question Form B is when I'm testing on that, it's going to be from this part to where?
To the end
of the truck.
To tractor.
The tractor.
So now we're going to move down to the fuel tank. The fuel tank properly mounted to the frame. Got to have two of these straps to hold the fuel tank in order. You have to open this up. Unfortunately, this one's not working properly because this chain's supposed to be there properly. Make sure that the rubber seal in there is soft and pliable and not missing.
We live, man. I'm recording this so I can go back and look at it and stuff.
You got your steps. The steps must be properly mounted, not missing, not cracked, not damaged. Properly secured. Then you got your catwalk. Catwalk should be properly mounted to the frame. No missing bolts, not missing. Then as far as
what's next?
Your drive shaft. The drive shaft right here should be properly mounted, securely connected to each and in with greased universal joints. Not missing, cracked, not damaged, and not bent. As far as your system, no parts of this exhaust system should be leaking or touching the fuel tank, which is another fuel tank over there. All connecting tights, no signs of leaking, no deep rust, no holes, or no carbon soot. We have a little bit of carbon soot built up because there's a leakage. It's old. It's an old vehicle. Then you want to talk about the tires. You know, these tires. It should be no less than 2/32 of an inch of tread in each groove. Since these are dual tires, from tire to tire should be 3 inches apart. From rim to rim should be 5 inches apart. No debris in the middle. No obstructions in the middle. It should have at least 100 psi of air in each tire. Now, as far as no bulges, no re-grooves. Well, I take that back. You can have re-grooves on the rear tires. You can't have re-grooves on the front tires. You can have them on the front. So re-grooves are acceptable on the back. They can either be radial tires or bias tires. You can't have radial and bias. You gotta have one or the other. It has to be properly sealed to the rim. Can't have no obstructions around the tires or anything. It should be the same size, same type. This valve stem for to put the air on should be available to put air in it, as well as now the back one is up here. It can't be right here. The back one is up here, so it has to be on a diagonal. As far as the rear power axle rims, this is the rear power axle rim. This is where you get your power from, right here. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Your front rims are your dead axle. It just has oil in it. And how to check the oil in here? You check the oil from this thing right here. This is your rear differential. This is how you check the oil. If there's oil in there in those axles from here, I believe with this right here. That's how you check it. Or right here. It's a little tube right here. So we call this sometimes they call this the pumpkin, whatever. Now as far as the rear brakes, you got your brake chamber. Not missing, not cracked, not damaged. 1 second. You know your brakes?
Yeah, I know the brakes.
I start spitting it out. Cause you gonna have
the brake chamber. Then from the brake chamber, you have
your brake chamber.
You have
your brake chamber should be
securely.
Your brake chamber should be securely mounted to the axle. No cracks, not leaking, not damaged. Holes, you gotta properly mount it, not bent, not loose parts. Your slack adjuster, the slack adjuster. Now your slack adjusters is back here. Let me show you. That's how you check your slack adjuster.
So the lever you pull.
I don't see the slack adjusters back here. But your slack adjuster, no more than 1 inch of free play damaged. Your adjusting nut, good condition. Your camshaft, good condition, not damaged, properly connected. S-cam, good condition, not damaged, properly mounted. Your brake shoes, good condition, no cracks, no grease or oil. Your brake lining, no less than 1/4 inch of thick, not cracked, no grease or oil on the pads. Your brake drums, no repair welds, not excessively worn, no cracks, properly mounted, no grease or oil on the drums. And your return spring must be in condition and not damaged.
Point to
Correct. You gotta know. You just gotta know these parts.
I know these. Everything lined up to it.
Yeah.
So that's it for Form A.
That's it for Form B.
For Form B.
Yeah, Form B. Then for Form also you gotta know your suspension. So you got your rear hanger,
rear hanger bracket,
and you got your control arm or eye bolt,
eye bolts and nuts. Then you got your leaf spring.
No, it's not a leaf spring. It's control arm.
Yeah, control arm.
Then you got
the leaf spring in the front.
What's this right here? These are
U-boat. That's my U. Hold on. Let me tell you. The U-boats. Then I got my saddle right here. That's the saddle. That's my anchor plate. USAA. And then my saddle, my anchor plate, and my U-boat.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Then you on the back of you have your upper. You got your. This is an airbag system. So your upper and lower bellow pad plate. You got your airbag, which is the bellow, and you got to make sure the bellow is not leaking, it's not cut, it's not broken, it's not properly sealed, not properly mounted. Then you have your height control lever, which is right here. It's your height control lever.
The height control lever.
And you have your air shocks.
Your air shocks.
Not air shocks. You have your
hydraulic shock absorber.
You know, it can't be leaky. It has to be properly mounted. Okay. So you just got to get out here more and just look at these parts and just keep doing it. Then you got your mud flaps.
Right.
And you got your quarter fenders.
All of this, the mud flaps in there too?
On part B, yes, mud flaps. Then you got your lights. Then you got your,
okay, hold on, but say what's the mud flaps should be how many inches off the ground?
6 inches.
6 inches. Mud flaps should be 6 inches off the ground.
Properly mounted to the frame. The quarter fender, 18 to 24 inches off the ground.
The quarter fender, 18 to 24 inches off the ground.
Properly mounted to the frame.
Properly mounted to the frame. You got it. What are you studying on? What you studying?
I failed skills.
You took your test already?
Yeah, so I passed the creature, but I failed the skills. I didn't do well from the parallel arc. I think I turned left too early.
Hey, we ain't got time to go overseas, do we? No.
Come on now, we're gonna have to go. I gotta go to work.
All right, we
Hey,
going.
man, it was good seeing you, man. Come on, sir. We're gonna have to get on out of here.
We out of here. Hey, M-Son say I'm just trying to make sure I can have something to look back on when I'm up in age, and have some type of pension coming to me and stuff. No, I'm gonna take this money, drive in a truck, put it into another business, take money to make money. I'm just trying to make sure that I can stand 10 toes down and handle my business and do what I want to do and live life to the fullest. The whole goal is to get a bigger bag and love yourself, be good to yourself, and be able to do how you please. I'm out of here, y'all. Oh.